Welcome back to the program. Now we bring you the headlines from the week. I'm being joined by our sports and entertainment correspondents, Ina Peters and Odiri. Hello, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy new month.
Happy new month.
It's December. Finally, we can sing the Christmas songs.
Yes, but the thing is that I'm a little sad because this year has been such an exciting year. Well, for me, Odiri's face. It's been such an exciting year, so I'm so sad it's ending. But then again, I thank God for keeping us till the last month of the year. Why are you not so happy?
Well, on a personal note, I'm looking forward to next year. Okay, I have great things coming up next year. So, yeah, happy about next year. And happy this year is almost done.
Well, you know what? For me, it's just the fact that with a new year comes like a new age. So that's just the only thing. But I mean, I'm happy. I am so excited. I can't even wait for 2019.
But we're so young. Why are you talking about new age?
Yeah, I want to remain like this. I don't want to grow old.
Not
But
going to
yeah.
happen except in the
Give
movies.
God all the glory. Well, in the political scene, so much happened. My guest host, my friend, my brother, Deji Adeonju, who is a human rights activist, was arrested alongside two other people by the Nigerian police while leading a protest called Police Not Politicians. This was meant to send awareness to the Nigerian police force that they're not meant to participate in partisan politics. So this was overwhelming for a lot of people. The hashtag Free Deji Adeonju has been trending on social media since his arrest, and it just goes to show that we are in deep trouble, to say the least. We're in deep trouble. The fact that citizens can no longer exercise their basic human rights, their basic freedom, by exercising freedom of speech to tell the politicians, to tell the, you see, I was even calling them politicians, to tell the police not to participate in partisan politics is a problem. We really hope that this issue will be resolved. I believe that the court has already called or set a judgment for his bill, and right now they're trying to meet those conditions. So I really hope that soon enough that situation would be brought to a reasonable conclusion.
You know, when they started asking, there's this new rule they had some time ago. The police, they said if you want to have a protest, you have to come and get approval from the police. I knew that was the death of free and fair protest.
So the Supreme Court ruled on that there's no way, that it's not part of our constitution. You can't tell people, citizens, that they have to come and get permission from you as a police to exercise freedom of speech.
True.
So absolutely not. There's no way, there's no law that backs that action up or backs that, you know, attestation of the police up. So that's null and void. So what they did, they didn't breach any laws. They didn't breach, you know, any of their constitutional provisions. So we're just wondering, like, why?
Funny how we're saying this now, because even on
week.
social media, it's, I think it's, you can obviously tell that there are people for this and then there are people against this. I mean, they're just human beings that are saying, okay, what did they do? It was a peaceful protest, yeah. But some persons have also gone on to say, you know, Deji is always, you know, poking the government. But then again, as a citizen, isn't that what you should do? Isn't that what you should demand for good roads, good electricity, you know, everything that is your right as a Nigerian citizen. So on the social media scene, it's like a divided world. So I don't really know. There are some things I would want to say, but I can't really say them on air. But we know some of these things.
But we talked about something with the police last week, I beg your pardon, when we were talking about the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly. Remember when we were asking, do they really know the law? And exactly, that's what I was trying to bring out. Like, yeah, they brought out that rule and it was quashed at the end of the day. But this is not the first time that someone has been arrested for
a peaceful, let's add that protest, there. It's a peaceful protest.
Peaceful protest. So this is not the first time, it's not the second time, it's not the third time. I doubt this will be the last time. So let's get it right from the roots, or else it will keep happening over and over again.
How do we get it right? You know, because as Ina said, it's our duty, it's our obligation as citizens to voice our concerns to government. So when our rights start to be trampled on, then there's a fundamental problem we need to be able to still speak out about. So how do we get it right? What do we do?
We need to change everything, because even the courts, they might decide, okay, it's okay. They might decide, no, it's not okay. We have issues with the courts. We have issues with the police. I don't know if we're going to ever get it right, but let's try and work towards it, because this is more like a deterrent to usually quiet or reserved Nigerian citizens who don't want to speak up.
You're very right. Well, we hope for the best. Rivers State Commissioner for Urban Development and Physical Planning, Dr. Reason Onya, resigns following the collapse of a 7-story building that left some dead and many injured. This story is particularly painful because there was a pregnant woman who was selling some goods and had strolled into the building to see if she can sell some goods to the people who were working in there. And once this happened, obviously, she lost her life, and also the 6 others as well. Building planning, I know the executive governor of Rivers State has come out to condemn this. I believe he also even spoke to the contractors and told them that they would be barred from doing any future contracts in Rivers State.
Yeah, I actually heard there was supposed to be, the plan was for a 5-story building, and then they decided to, let's just add 2 more layers and made it a 7-story building. That's what I heard. Maybe it was trending somewhere. But apart from that, I think this is one of the very few times you see an official, a public official, resigning over something as grave as this.
I think it's commendable,
Yes.
you know, take responsibility for, you know, something that is within your assignment, your purview. Yeah. But the thing is, it's really sad. You know, I'm from River State, so it hits home, and it's really, really sad. And I just hope that everyone, River State as a whole, can actually come out of this. And I know that the former president, Goodluck Jonathan, also went there to, you know, pay a courtesy visit, you know, to the people that were affected by this.
Well, as we said, these policies and checkmates in the system need to be reinforced, and it's truly commendable that the commissioner has resigned, but you resigning should not be the end of this situation. I implore that the government keeps on digging further to see what the root cause of this issue was, and ensure that you nip it in the bud once and for all to ensure that this situation does not occur again. But moving on, President Muhammadu Buhari visits Borno State for a 1-day visit to declare open the 2018 Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference. He spoke, on the side note actually, Ina, he gave a speech during this conference, and a lot of people on social media, I don't know if you have this on your social trends, said he looked so young, so fresh, you know, he looked so healthy, and he actually spoke very well. I don't know if you got some social media comments about that.
You know what, the thing is, he has been traveling a lot, right? So, I mean, it's expected. Right?
No, I think practice makes perfect. If he's speaking better, he's looking healthier, maybe he's working on doing better. It's different from when he started his tenure and now. So I think he's probably just improved on himself.
And I think it just also points out, you know, recently the Minister of Information, you know, called people that are saying that he is not, you know, our president is not our president. You know, he actually had to end that rumor. So, I mean, you know, the president now coming out looking all, you know, I guess it was,
I'm Bobo.
All yolky.
you know, I guess it was like, okay, look at, I mean, stop it, okay, stop it. He's good. He's in good condition and all. So I guess that's...
So it's not Jibrin?
No, that's the...
Who's that? We don't know who that is.
Who is that?
That's our president.
Okay, more controversy in Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly as 5 suspended lawmakers attempt to impeach the Speaker, Barrister Onofiok Luke, and Governor Udom Emmanuel. This situation has gotten out of hand. We've seen protests. Thousands of people have been walking the street protesting this this action by 5 people trying to impeach an assembly of 20. We could see the video very clearly. One sergeant of arms, who was a former sergeant of arms actually, he's not actually the sitting one, leading the now speaker into the State House of Assembly. Interesting, interesting. You can see how empty, you can see how empty the State House of Assembly is. Interesting. That situation is lingering on. I'm not quite sure. Apparently, the sitting governor, Udom Emmanuel, had alleged that the former governor, Godswill Akpabio, had arranged all of this to impeach him. Politics.
I think at the end of the day, we should just try and do what is right. We can't keep rolling around on the hay. We need to straighten it out. We can't have 5 people in an assembly of 20. You can't. You shouldn't even sit if you're 5.
They don't form a quorum, but well, Buhari approves increment of police salary and allowance. Senator Joshua Lidani, representing Gombe South Senatorial District, dumps PDP for the All Progressive Congress, another win for APC. President Muhammadu Buhari approves the reduction in the cost of forms for JAM from 5,000 to 3,500 naira, NECO from 11,350 to 9,850, and that would be effective by January 2019. South African government increases minimum wage to the equivalent of 126,000 naira. Yep. Yes, while Nigeria is struggling struggling to increase it to 30,000 naira. As the giant of Africa, we have a long way to go to prove that. Very lastly, the EU's 27 leaders on Sunday, the 25th of November, endorsed the draft Brexit withdrawal agreement and approved the draft politician declaration on future EU-UK relations. Okay, I think it's time for some entertainment because politics...
You're not enjoying the stories.
No,
what you're seeing every
bored.
time. Okay, all right, I got you. Okay, so first up on the political... Did I just say political?
Political, yes.
I'm so sorry about
It's okay.
So first up, of course, we saw the Afrima Awards, and Davido, Falz the Bad Guy, you know, and so many Nigerian artists actually won big, and it's really, really exciting because every time I see our Nigerian artists, you know, just win awards, it shows the hard work that they put in. And I think, you know, the country right now is not in the perfect place. So when we see our entertainers going all out to represent the country and the continent, you know, at large in a good light, I always applaud them. So congratulations to everyone that won big. And another thing we also saw this week is, well, still this week, is, you know, the fact that the Nigerian entertainment, you know, media space, a lot of conversations have been coming up now. And that's as regards to the shift in dynamics. You know, there are so many upcoming artists coming up, and for some reason, they're trying to cause beef. So someone now actually accused Tiwa Savage of stealing his...
I saw that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, you know, it definitely now opened a new conversation as to why are these upcoming artists trying to, you know, cause problems when they haven't even established themselves.
But did she steal his music?
Well, the thing is, it's in Yoruba, right? And I listened to both songs, exactly the same thing. But then again, you know, people were like, you know, people are also saying that it's kind of like you taking a proverb and then making it into a song, right? So who do you want to blame, right? Who would you say is, unless it's the original person that wrote that proverb. So it was like changing a proverb into a song. So you have done it before and I am doing it now. So it's not really yours.
So was it the lyrics or the
It was
beat
the lyrics. It was the exact,
okay.
like it was exact.
Do you remember what the lyrics was?
It's in Yoruba. I do. So, you know, so I had to ask, you know, what was it? What is it about, you know, this whole situation? Because you see a lot of big artists also condemning this. Well, he's not like an upcoming, but he had a hit single like years back, and then we don't know him again. And you know, I'm sorry.
Upstarter.
And you
A one-time hit.
yes,
Yeah.
you know, and now he's coming back. So people are saying, instead of you trying to become relevant with just starting a beef, how about, you know, you
Get
just call
original.
Tiwa, let's do a song together. And, you know, the hit comes out. Well, moving on from that now is singer Techno is, I don't know, you haven't, well, last you hear a hit single from Techno? It's been a while, right?
I'm trying to think of a techno song.
Rao, My Country People.
Oh.
Yes, Yes, so singer Techno is not feeling well at all.
Oh, no.
Earlier this week, we saw his record label boss, Ubi Franklin, who released an official statement from the record label saying Techno has been struggling. His vocal cords are not doing well at all, and it's just been difficult for him. Now, after that press release, Techno on his own also now took to his Instagram page to say, look, it is not going well. Like, he's in serious pains. Like, he wants to give up, basically. Aww. So I think that calls for a prayer, for him, because he's one of our leading artists in the country. He just welcomed the child with singer Lola Ray, and to see someone like this suffer for so long, he's just been absent in the music scene, and now to finally know what the problem is, I think it's very sad. And
there's a medical solution to that, right? Because I remember with Adele, she also had that vocal issue. Yeah, and I think there was a medical. So is it possible?
I think it's possible. That's why they're working on it. But with things like this, you have to be very careful as an artist, so that you don't do something that is wrong and then you just lose it forever.
And I can stand in for you, Techno.
Oh my!
Does he rap? Does he rap and sing?
No, he just sings. Just sing.
I'll warm up. That was a D. I did not say bye.
And lastly, I grew up watching SpongeBob. Like a lot of kids still watch SpongeBob SquarePants, and the man, the brain behind SpongeBob SquarePants, we actually lost him this week, and it just sad, because it just takes us back to when we also lost Stan Lee of Marvel. So you see these iconic people, these iconic minds, and these creators just going, and at the end of the day, it boils down to all we said. Remember when I talked about Stan Lee? You have to make sure you leave something that even when you are gone, people will still adore you, people will still appreciate you for your works. So for the next generation of kids coming, you might not know Steven, but you will know SpongeBob.
Living a life of legacy and impact. That's excellent, Ina. Sports.
Well, talking about legacy and impact, someone had a baby this week. Omero, Super Eagles defender, he welcomed the child with his wife, Chioma. So congratulations to the family. And also in sports, we heard that our own Isaac Success had a contract extension with Watford for 5 years. So more money or more grace to your elbows. And also, the FIFA rankings came out on Thursday, and we didn't really improve what that's on the world stage, but on the African stage, we dropped down a little notch. But, well, who says being fourth stops you from winning the World Cup? But away from there, we also have the African Women's Cup of Nations final today. 5 p.m. is the kickoff time, and Nigeria will be taking on South Africa. I'm hoping we can do something on the revenge issue. No, they beat us the first time in the group stage 1-0, so once he gets back at South Africa,
we have to win.
You have to show them who's the giant.
Falcons, right?
Yeah, the Falcons. The Falcons.
Go Falcons!
Go girls. We are solidly behind you. Also, in sports today, we also have to talk about the CAF Competitions Cup and the CAF Champions League started today. Plus, one big story coming out from yesterday is that Cameroon, who were the hosts for the Africa Cup of Nations 2019, they've lost their hosting rights. They were stripped of the hosting right by CAF.
Why?
Well, a lot of issues. They've been having issues with meeting up deadlines for facilities and all that, and CAF has been monitoring the situation, and yesterday they did their final inspection to be sure that Cameroon was ready, last week probably. So yesterday they had an executive committee meeting, and they decided, for the sake of the contractual agreements they have, they can't possibly postpone it or move the date. It's next year in June, and they need to meet up with that deadline. And because of that, they had to strip Cameroon of the rights. I hear Morocco, South Africa, Egypt are jumping at the beat to get the new rights. But it's sad for Cameroon, but I think it's business. You got to do what you got to do. Yeah.
Is Nigeria interested in gaining the new rights, or no?
Next year's election, no.
No money for that. Okay, I hope we have some stuff in basketball, tennis coming up. No,
basketball, but we have in boxing. Wilder and Fury.
We'll make do with
and
that.
There was this fight after their news conference last week.
Between who and who?
Wilder and Fury, and they were like, Somebody took off their shirts, you know, want to box. Let's just do the fight now before Saturday.
Well, I can't wait to hear all of that. Ladies, thank you so much for your time. So we'll take a break right now. When we return, the lifestyle segment of the weekend show. Don't go anywhere. We're talking skin bleaching. Ooh, stay tuned.